Hello, welcome to another of Darren's film reviews, and today we are going to review The Man in the Red Pants. Yes, it's the return of Mr. Superman. It's not titled Mr. Superman, but I just thought I'd give him that, accolade, Mr. Superman, who's done very well for us in the last few years, or decades, should I say. The original, and probably the one and only Mr. Christopher Reeve, we have to thank for R.I.P. Christopher Reeve. You are an absolute legend, and I think you still stand to this day as the best Superman. I don't know if it's because of nostalgia or because he's the original, I don't know, but I'm not going to digress onto the who was the best Superman, but I definitely think he was. So we're talking about the new Superman out in the cinemas now. Superman being played by David Corenswet. I don't think I've seen him in anything before. Directed by James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy, Brightburn. He's also did another one, Avengers Endgame, which I really enjoyed, actually. I think it was quite decent. I'm not too sure about this one. I found it a little bit messy. Very, very messy, but very bright, very different to the Zack Snyder universes. A lot less darker. We haven't got the gritty, dark, almost the Batman-like kind of lighting where everything's raining and everything is dark and everything takes place at night time, which I'm glad about, because I get a bit tired of these dark movies where you're just like, oh, what's that bit? Who's fighting there? You're just squinting for details. I do like it out in the open. However, I'm not too familiar with the original comic books of Superman. Obviously, I know they're popular and they've been going for years and they've got a great following. I've watched every Superman there is, I believe. Probably Superman 3 once. Or was it 4? The one with the guy with the flames. I think that was once. I actually caught a glimpse of number 4 the other day with the Mr. Fire Feet fella. And I could tell you, I mean, that was bad. That was bad. It's a shame that Christopher Reeve got involved with it, but anyway. I digress again. So we've gone to Superman, and what we've got now with the James Gunn version is you get chucked in. By the way, there are spoilers. You get chucked in. Superman's been on the Earth for about 3 years. There's other super beings coming in the face of Fantastic Four. There's Nicholas Hoult, who is playing Lex Luthor, who does very, very well. I have to say, to step into Gene Hackman's genes. Oh, I didn't even intend to do that, but it happened. Gene Hackman's genes. He did really well. I was actually, before the movie, I just thought, I don't really fancy Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, but he actually did a very, very good job. As well as did Eddie Gattigi from For All Mankind, who played Mr. Terrific. Him and his crew, the Fantastic Four, were very entertaining, and I found them a little bit more of an entertaining part of this film, more than sometimes Superman. However, I will go to say that David Corenswet, and this is gonna be controversial because I know so many people love. I forgot his name now. Henry Cavill, who is obviously, square-jawed, the epitome of what Superman should be. Hunk, basically. Square-jawed, jet black hair, 6 foot whatever wide, full of muscles, and you're going to think, yeah, that's Superman. And that's maybe too obvious, and that's why I actually prefer David Corenswet. I hope I said his name right. I prefer him because he's not perfect. Yes, there are parts when you go, okay, he's quite a masculine Superman, but he wasn't overtly perfect, and I liked it because he just felt a bit more human, where Henry Cavill was a bit more. Not taking anything away from Henry Cavill's performance, did well, but I just felt that David Corenswet was a bit more human, a bit more you could relate to him, but while still being kind of badass. Although there were times where it was like, damn, dude, you're getting beat. He was getting beat quite a lot in this movie. That brings me on to the dog, because when I saw the trailer, when I saw that he had a dog, I just could not hold my excitement. I honestly, Superman and his super dog, yes, anytime, bring it on. And I could not wait to see Superman and his badass dog kicking ass and then eating a nice little doggy treat afterwards. However, his dog was quite annoying, and I don't know if that goes back to the comics. Please tell me if it is the case and they're staying so true to the comics. But his dog was very annoying and just not very useful. So many times you just go, come on, be a badass dog. That's it, get them. And it's just like, he just kept biting people and messing up. And it was just like, why? Is this for comic relief? It wasn't funny. It's like Superman needed help, and every time he needed help, he wasn't helping. What was the point in that? And that's what I just found it a bit messy. Yeah, the dog was a bit disappointing. I think there was one point, there was not even that point of, okay, look, the dog's going to mess about for a little bit, but near the end, he's going to do something so badass that you're just like, yep, he's redeemed himself. Never came. No, absolutely not. Dog was, I know I'm talking about the dog a lot, but I just think, what's the point of having him if he's not going to contribute? I don't know. Is it for kids? Was it for kids to go, look at the funny dog? I don't know. Talking of dogs, you see, very big spoiler, I think, it depends on how much you're really looking forward to, extra Supermans, extra Supergirls, maybe Superboys, Super Tanks, I don't know, there's going to be lots of super whatever. Apparently, spoiler alert, the dog belongs to Supergirl, Superman's cousin, who you do see. She turns up, and I think when she turns up, you've been chucked around so much throughout the film. Like, what? So you're right, okay, and then so you've got to kill him, but there's also this country that needs help from Superman because, right, hold on, it's almost as complicated as a Christopher Nolan movie, but without the answers. It was just very, very, very all over the place. We had this war-torn or potentially war-torn country being threatened by this stronger nation, so hints of Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine, hints of Israel, Palestine, and then the symbol Mr. America, although Superman's not American, by the way. He's from Krypton, so, but he's the adopted son. But yes, there was this random, I say random, it was almost like Dr. Manhattan. I don't know if you've seen Watchmen, the Dr. Manhattan character, where basically he's able to evoke so much power and destruction that he tells the world, look, if you're going to mess about, you're going to get it. It's not going to be good for you, basically. And that's the kind of thing that Superman had over this country that was about to invade this made-up country. I can't remember what it was called, but it was Barania, or something that was going to invade this poorer country, and they were waiting for Superman to save him. And I'm just wondering, was that a bit symbolic? I don't know the history of James Gunn and stuff, but I don't know where the message was about that. There seems to be, it was very, very in tune with what's going on currently out in the world. And I don't know if anyone's trying to win any favours, should I say. I'm not sure. I'm not going to go into that. It did remind me a little bit of the recent movie regarding, I question the timing of the movie about the Israeli athletes who were taken hostage in the Moscow Games, was it? The recent film that was out last year, and no, this year, sorry. And I just wonder about the timing of that, where it was showing how bad Palestinian people were. You know, I've questioned the timing of that film, and I don't know if this kind of tied over, but yeah, that film, the Moscow Hostage, which recently came out, it was, you know, the Israeli athletes being taken hostage by the baddies, the Palestinians, and I just question the timing. Why would you make a film that's, hey guys, just look at, just remember what happened, yeah? You tell me. Let's move on from that. Let's not get political, because it's always a sensitive point. And talking about sensitive, David Corenswet's character, very sensitive, and I liked that about him. Very sensitive, to the point where he saved a squirrel. Now, the vegan in me, yes, sorry guys, or vegetarian, some mostly vegan, loved that. They basically were saying he wants to save everybody, and it's not just humans. He wants to save the little furry animals, or not even if you're not furry, you know. So I liked that. He saved a squirrel. That's cool. He got very upset. If anyone died, he got very, very upset. So Superman was a lot more sensitive in this film, and I liked that. And he was always going to be caring, etc. We also get a twist in the movie. Did his parents send Superman to Earth to rule the people? Not in such succinct words, but not rule them, but maybe just govern them a little bit. Say, look, you know, I'm gonna be in control. Bit Trump style. No, I'm joking. Right. So it chucked us in the middle. There's no history. It's been done. It has been done to the death. Introducing Superman. You know, Krypton goes to Earth. So they get it out of the way, and I don't mind that. But it was just so in the middle. Some of these, there was some monsters that were like almost Marshmallow Man, comical, just not threatening at all. Very cartoony, and I do wonder if I prefer the Zack Snyder movies, which I might have to watch later on, because it's not that I want dark. We don't want dark, but maybe a mixture. And this had its moments. The film did have its moments. It really did. But they were very short-lived. And then we were just back into the craziness. Jimmy, the photographer, he is now Mr. Super Cool, Sexy. Everybody fancies him. Whereas before he was, I'm Jimmy, I'm going to take a photo for you. Nobody likes me. You know, just a bit of a nerd, you know, and just not as popular. But in this one, he supersedes that. However, we bring that on to the bimbo. The bimbo, that's not what I'm saying, that's what she's playing. Played by, so I didn't get her name. But we see the return of the bimbo. The famous one with Gene Wilder and his bimbo girlfriend. We see the return of that. And I like that. That was nice. That's a nice little touch. Okay, you're going to really play it up. However, she's in love with Jimmy because Jimmy's so cool now. Okay, right. Lois Lane. She is in control. She's the lady. You know, because back in the day when she knew Superman was Superman, that's it. She was gone. She was besotted. She was absolutely obsessed. But here, apparently, she's given Superman an ultimatum. Superman, I don't think it's working out. Sorry, you do realise I'm Superman? Yeah, but I'm Lois Lane? Yeah, but I'm Superman. Yeah, good point actually. Yeah, sorry, what should we get from the restaurant? Yeah, sorry, I'll pay. Lois Lane is totally in control. She's literally calling the relationship on Superman. So there's a twist on that. Obviously, Lois Lane was not into Clark Kent. That's fine. But when it came to Superman, she was besotted. But in this one, it's actually just Superman. Okay, fair enough. Going to move on to my last point. One of the most comical, random. I'm sorry, but I think it just doesn't fit at all. And I think it's the most, almost ridiculously laughable, was the casting of Bradley Cooper as Superman's father. No, did not work. Almost comical. Bradley Cooper. Come on. It's, you know, we're talking Bradley Cooper from Hangover, and then suddenly he plays this mystical Superman character from space. It didn't work. It didn't work. Seeing Bradley Cooper trying to be serious, you know, what was these? Oh God, I'm gonna forget his name. You know, when you just think you forget a name. Very famous actor who played the original Superman's dad. Oh, one of the most famous actors in the world. It's gone. It's gone. I will put it up there in a clip right now. Him. Yes. How I forgot his name, I don't know. But you go from him to Bradley Cooper. No offense on Bradley Cooper. Great actor. Enjoy his stuff. But I think that was a really weird casting. At least get someone a little bit more looking... Not a little bit more wise and wizardy. You know, just a little bit more... less Bradley Cooper. Anyway, right. I'm gonna remember this actor's name now, who I really am flabbergasted. I know he's from Apocalypse Now and The Godfather. Still can't remember his name. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Absolutely gone. You know when you think about it, oh God. Anyway, so that's my take on Superman. What would I give it out of 5? I'm gonna give it. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. Absolutely. But it's messy. It's really messy. I don't know if James Gunn's going to do another one. There doesn't seem to be talk about him doing another one. He's getting involved with the Supergirl project in the next one. He's talking about spin-offs. I don't know if we're going to get another... Let Christopher Nolan have a go. I think it'd be the perfect balance between Snyder and James Gunn. And then he'll say to these guys, do you want to see how to make a Superman movie? Here you go. Obviously, he's busy with Odyssey at the moment, which I saw a trailer of. Exciting. But yeah, this one, Superman, bit messy. Do I prefer Snyder or this one? Which, the fact that I'm saying that must say, because I really do enjoy the others. But I think I need to give this a second viewing because it was just a little bit messy. Maybe some films do need a second viewing. But at this moment in time, I can't say it was great. Great parts, Nicholas Hoult, Eddie Gattigi, the annoying dog, no. Bradley Cooper, no. So, apart from that, pretty decent, okay. Don't get too excited. It was meh. It was a meh film. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and hopefully we'll... second viewing and just crack on from there. I'll see you on the next movie. And if there's anything you want me to watch that I'd like to give, that you want me to give you my opinion on, not that my opinion's important, it's just me venting, should I say, let me know. Take care of yourselves. It's a crazy world out there, and speak to you soon.